Good morning on the 1st of April. I don't have any jokes for you this morning, but I do have maybe a hard word. I've been hearing lots of different people talking about the way the world is changing, that things have gone from certainty to uncertainty. The fact is that the world isn't changing. This is the same world we're living in today was the same 5 years ago, was the same 50 years ago, was the same 100 years ago. In fact, Brisbane encountered this very same issue almost exactly 100 years ago. The world has not changed. We have always lived with this level of uncertainty, this level of exposure. The fact that we even try to bring us to a place of certainty is a big fallacy. There is nothing certain. Humans create this idea of certainty because certainty somehow leads them to a place where they think that they can control. Certainty equals a feeling of control. And all of us, when we are doing it in our own strength, are striving for some element of control over our lives. And so we construct this thing called certainty. And when things start to change, we go, well, things are now uncertain. Well, no, stop. We've always lived in uncertainty. And that is why faith and a relationship with God is so critical. Because we do live in an uncertain world that holds these great trials and tribulations for mankind. From the very day dot of history, there have been things that mankind has had to go through and encounter. We are not somehow now living in the most treacherous of times. We have actually just got comfortable with living with this fallacy of certainty. Now is the time for you to strengthen your faith, to recognize the reality of what we're living in right now, the truth of what we're living in right now, actually exposes our very deep and great need for a certain God. The only thing that is certain on this earth is a God who was born in a manger, who died on a cross so that relationship with his Father could be reestablished, and that if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, that you shall be saved, that your relationship with him would be right, and that you would be actually at that point connected to the only certain thing in this world. We need to recognize that we live in an uncertain world, but we love and are connected to a certain God. Let me read to you from the Psalms this morning. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, mighty and impenetrable to temptation, a very present and well-proved help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth should be removed, and though the mountains be shaken in the midst of the seas, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling and tumult. Selah, pause, and calmly think of that. There is a river whose stream shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God will help her right early at the dawn of the morning. The nations raged, the kingdoms tottered and were moved. He uttered his voice and the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Pause. Think about that calmly. Come, behold the works of the Lord, who has wrought desolations and wonders in the earth. He makes wars to cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow into pieces and snaps the spear in two. He burns the chariots in the fire. Let be and be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Pause and calmly think about that. When we know who our God is, when we are certain about Him, it doesn't matter what trouble or torment or shaking or uncertainty or wars or rumors of wars or nations that are tottering. None of that matters, because we are not finding our sense of control in a certain world. We are finding our sense of peace in a certain God. Matthew 6 says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worries of its own." When we allow worry about tomorrow to come in to our today, all that happens is we lose the portion of peace that was given to us to move through and to endure the worries of today. Right now, today, look to your certain God. Grab a hold of the portion of peace that is available for you to deal with the worries of today. Don't worry about the worries of tomorrow. He's got them too. If we play the victim card, if we see these times as being a victim of a changing world or a victim of something, then the result of that will be hiding and hoarding. But if we see this as an opportunity in our isolation to protect, to strengthen, to do the right thing for our community, then actually we become healers. I'm encouraging you today to follow the restrictions that have been placed on us, not to do it out of fear and worry, but to do it because you are doing the right thing for those who are vulnerable in our community, because you're doing the right thing to protect our community, and because you have a certain God and a portion of peace for today, that you don't have to fall into the fears and the uncertainty that the world is feeling right now. This is our moment to shine. This is our moment to show the strength of a God. But if the church still is looking at the world for certainty, we won't be able to show the world a certain God. I leave you with peace today. Psalm 46:10. Let be and be still, and know that He is your God.